Everyone, here for your coding lesson, and we're going to be continuing our knowledge of how to use coding to make artwork on TwoLogo. So I'm going to share my screen with you, and we're going to jump into a warm-up. Okay, so our do now is I'd like you to have a go at drawing out what shape you think this code will make. So you need to follow each step, forward 5, right turn 90, forward 5, right turn 90, and see what it draws. Okay, so this is the position the arrow is going to be starting. So on a spare bit of paper or just in your book, can you draw what shape you think that makes? Follow each bit of code exactly. So pause the video now, have a go, and then come back to see what shape it is. Okay, now that you've had a go at making your attempt at what you think that code is, let me show you. It is a house. So the code went up, across, down, across, up, turned 45 degrees up, 90 degrees, and back down. So it's made like a little house. So today we are going to build our own code to make our own artwork. So I'm going to jump on over to TwoLogo. You should know how to log on by now. To start myself off, I'm going to put my grid on. The grid is going to be really important to know how many squares I'm moving at a time, okay? And I'm going to drag my character down here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a code by adding a little bit, one extra step each time until I've made a shape or a pattern that I'm happy with. Okay, so I might start by going forward, and I might just go forward maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, about 15 to get to the top of the screen. So forward 15. So I'm going to press play, check that that code works. All right, lovely. I'm happy with that. Now I can come down here, click on this code again to reuse it and add something to it. So now I might do, I want it to come down this way. So I'm going to put left turn, and I might do 125 degrees. Okay, and that's going to turn around. It's not going to turn a whole 180. Remember, 180 would turn it back halfway around. Probably going to bring it to around about here. Okay, so I'm going to reset that, press play. Perfect. All right, I'm going to click on that code again. I'm going to add another step. So now I might do forward space 10. Okay, and I'm going to reset it, press play again. Okay, lovely. And I'm going to click on that code. Now, I want to make sure I'm tracking my code. So I'm over on a bit of paper. I'm going to write down the code I've got so far. So I've got forward 15, left turn 125, forwards 10. That's what I've got so far. That's just for me to keep track of. So when you're doing your code today on a piece of paper or in your book, you want to write down the code you've created so that in case you accidentally delete it, you'll be able to reuse it. All right, let's go back. Let's keep making. So now I might think, oh, I want him to maybe go up, make a different. I'm going to add another turn in again. So maybe a left turn 90. So I'm going to reset that. Try again. Okay, angle down, right? So I go across to my piece of paper. Let me add left turn 90. Back to my code, click on it. And I'm going to add another step. Maybe I could do forward 10. So I'm just making it up. It's not a particular shape. I'm just making a code. All right, happy with that. Let me add that to my bit of paper. I'm going to write on my paper forward 10. And I'm going to click on that code and add another step. Maybe do left turn 90 again. Remember, a space between my code. Reset, play again. Now you can pick anything, right? He's facing up now, so maybe I'll make him go across. So I'm just going to add that. I did another left turn 90. And coming back, I'm going to click on the code and I'm going to go forward space 8. Just random numbers, reset, play again. Amazing. Okay, maybe I'm gonna do a few more steps. So I've done, let me add that. I did forward 8, writing that onto my code. Now I think I'm gonna make him come across this way, loop around. I might do, oh, left turn 120. Like a triangle angle. Reset, play again. So this takes a bit of time, but I'm basically just building up a shape or a piece of code that I'm happy with. So I need to add that. I put left turn 120. It's going to be quite a long code. Reset, reset, click on my code, reset. So at the end here, I'm going to add forward 10. Play and check that code. Write that bit in. I did forward. So if at any point you think, oh, I didn't like that, you can just get rid of that. Lovely. I'm going to click on it. I'm going to make sure I go to the end and hit space and add a turn. So remember, it goes turn, forwards, so left turn. I might do a very small angle now, 25 degrees. So I'm going to reset that, press play, watch my code. Oh, okay, so now it's facing this way. So I need to add in that 25 degree turn, left turn, 25. I might do a few more steps. So click on the code, go all the way across, space, and then I might do forwards 5, press play. Oh, reset it first. Interesting shape. I'm just testing it. I'm making it up as I go. Forwards 5. I might do 2 more, maybe. So let me reset it. Click on the code. This is a very long code, which is why we wrote it down on a piece of paper in case we lose it. So I might do another left turn 90. And I'm going to press play and test that. And to finish, I might just make it come down to the bottom. So I might go down a little bit. So he's facing forward, so I'm going to go forwards, space, 8. And I'm going to test that code. All right, got a shape. It doesn't look like any particular shape, but I'm going to show you how I can turn this into artwork. So I'm just going to quickly add those last 2 bits of code that I put onto it, which was left turn 90 and forwards FD8. Now it's important that I've got this here in case I lose my code in TwoLogo. All right, but I've done that now. I'm going to reset it. I'm happy with this big long code. I'm going to click 3 times on the line. 1, 2, 3. And it's going to highlight the whole code for me. Then I'm going to click on the right side of my mouse and I'm going to copy, or you can hold down the control button and press C. I'm going to copy that and I'm going to come over to my procedures here and I'm going to make this a procedure called artwork. So artwork. And I'm going to click there and I'm going to right click and press paste. Or you can retype in that whole code using the code that you wrote on the paper, okay? So now that I've done that, oops, where's it gone? I'm going to press play and see that it makes the same code shape. Now it's not going to look exactly the same because my arrow started down the bottom, but I can see it's pretty much the same code that shape that I saw on my screen before. I'm going to press OK. So I'm just triple clicking on that and pressing backwards. Now I'm going to press artwork to test it and press play. Brilliant. Okay, so what I could now do with this artwork, all right, is I could maybe make it repeat over and over and over. So I might have RPT 1,000. Maybe I want to do 1,000, and then in my brackets I can type in artwork, spelling it correctly, close brackets, and I could just have it repeat and over, and it's going to keep going. So what you're going to do now is you're going to jump on Purple Mash and you're going to create your own random shape, okay? So maybe give it, how many steps did I have? In mine I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So maybe 10 up to 15 different turns and forwards and make a shape. Okay, it could be any shape you like. If you can't think of a shape or if you're really struggling, I would like you to copy my code, please. I'd like you to copy that in there. And then, of course, you're going to go and you're going to save that as a procedure. Save it as a procedure. Once you've done that, come back and press play. All right, so I've now got my artwork saved as a procedure. So I can edit it if I want to. I can come over here, click the edit button if I want to change the shape in any way. But I'm pretty happy with it. So if I want to use that procedure, I can click on it. It appears here, and I can press play. And I'm just going to speed up this bit. All right. Now, how do we turn it into artwork? Well, if I want this code to repeat, if I was to just refresh this and type in here, RPT 1,000 times, you can do 5,000 times if you want, I don't mind. And then click on artwork in the bracket and close it. Shouldn't be a space in there, and press play. It's going to start repeating that code over and over. But as you can see, it's staying in the same place. Okay, it's just repeating over and over on top of the same lines. So now I need my code to move a little bit across before it repeats the next one. Okay, so I'm going to add a movement code. This is so that my character, after doing one artwork, so if I just did artwork, he'd draw one and then he'll shift slightly and draw another one. Okay, so to make my movement code, I don't want it to draw during this movement code. So I'm first going to type pen up because I don't want to draw a line from one place to the other. I want pen up. Then I'm going to say something like forwards and only a very small distance forward to left turn 10. And then I want the pen to come back down. All right, so just so that I can see it, if we move, see he's just moved ever so slightly forward and then he's angled very slightly. Okay, so I'd like you to quickly write this code down that I've done. All right, so in the same place that you put here, so I'm just going to draw a line to separate. Okay, so it was pen up, forward, forwards, 2, left turn, 10, pen down. All right, so it's there for you. I'd like you to write that onto your bit of paper underneath your code. All right, now that you've done that, I'd like you to come over to procedures and I'd like you to add a procedure and I'm going to call it move. This is going to be our move. And I'd like you to type that procedure in there. Pen up, forwards, 2, space, left turn, left turn, 10, and then pen has to go back down. So I'd like you to do that, press play, just watch it, perfect, and press OK, save that. So I'm going to get rid of this now, I'm going to reset my code. So let's have a look at what happens if I repeat my artwork over and over and over, and this time it moves. So I'm going to first click on repeat, so I want artwork, move, and now I'm going to click over here and I'm going to put those in brackets. So I want it to repeat 1,000, and then I'm going to put, oh, wrong bracket, into the brackets. Okay, so it's going to repeat it 1,000 times, but each time it does the artwork, it's going to shift across because we've added that move code. So let's have a look at what happens. So we're going to watch mine before it's your turn. So if I press play, as you can see, each time it does the code for the artwork, it moves ever so slightly before it does the next code. And if I let it play long enough, it starts to make a beautiful pattern. So it's going to keep doing that 1,000 times, but you can see it's made this beautiful spiral pattern. So it's going to be your turn now. I would like you to go to your code, make sure you've got the artwork procedure and the move procedure, and I'd like you to type in, repeat, do like 100 or 1,000, artwork and move, and see what pattern it comes up with. Does it make a pretty pattern? Do you need to adjust your code anywhere? So pause the video now, go away and do that, come back once you've had a chance. All right, so now that we've learned how to make a pretty pattern, I think what would make it even more beautiful is having a little bit of color. Okay, so I can actually change the color of my spiral. So I'm going to reset it. And I'm going to come across to the artwork procedure and I'm going to press the edit button here to edit. So remember, I've got this, let me just close that, over on the right side here, set pen color to change it, set PC, and then I can choose a color. So I'm going to go back into artwork and edit it. And now I'm going to, instead of it just being green, it's going to start off green, and maybe I'm going to do set, one word, PC blue, and coming forward 90 right here, I'm going to do set PC red, space, forward turn, so I'm going to set PC yellow, space, forward left turn, so again I can just keep adding different colors, set PC, oh, should all be one word, magenta, space, forward turn, another color, set PC purple, space, and then I've got forward 5, left turn 90, and so maybe just for that last bit I want set pen color. Oh, what color haven't I used? Green or black. Maybe just do black, haven't used that yet. All right, now that I've done that, I'm going to press OK. I'm going to reuse the code, repeat 1000 in brackets, artwork and move. Let's see how different it looks like this time. Are you ready? Right, I might just shift it over here a little bit. Play. Oh, so I've made some error. So I need to go back to my code and have a quick look. Set PC blue. Set. Now I made an error here. Set space PC is not correct. It needs no space. Set PC is one word. Just quickly check the rest of them. That's why it's great when we make errors, we get to go have a look. I'm going to reset that code, and here we go. I've got a beautiful color coming through. So it's looking much more exciting now. Got all sorts of different colors. I don't like the black. I'm thinking, it's just a bit dark. Maybe I'm not such a big fan of that, but that's not the point right now. I'm just going to watch and see. I think maybe if I did green would be a little bit nicer than black. So I'm going to press stop and I'm going to tweak it. I'm going to go back to the artwork and I'm going to change black to green. Oh, green. It's okay. Reset. Oh, click on the code and press play. Ooh, that's more colorful. So you can play around with the colors. You can pick and choose. You can fidget about. Okay. Again, remember, if you didn't know if you couldn't come up with your own shape, you can always use mine. But making yourself a very cool and colorful shape. So I'm using the computer to make artwork for me by presetting the codes. So the last task for you is now it's your turn. Go back underneath your procedures, press edit. I have to stop this first. Press edit. Edit. There we go. Add in set pen color and pick each color. Change it every few steps. You can do what you want. Save it, okay? And have a go at making some beautiful artwork on your computer. Once you've done something like this, take a screenshot, post it up on Seesaw for us. Okay, of course, have fun making all sorts of different shapes. See what happens when you repeat codes over and over. Remember, if we go all the way back to my original code, I just started with this and we just built it up, and then we turned it into a procedure. Okay, so have fun doing that. That's actually the end of the lesson today. So all I want is to see screenshots of your artwork up on Seesaw, please. So hope you've enjoyed today's lesson. Please put a photo on Seesaw, and I look forward to seeing you next week for our next lesson in coding. Have a lovely week. I'll see you next week. Bye.